getting turned in. That's the end of the hour. Alright, so we see the word on the big smart board up here. Christian, what's that word? Inference. Who can tell me what inference stands for? Logan.
It's an educated guess or something you can infer by reading it.
Okay, that's very good. Also, in the back whiteboard, what do we have written down?
Text structure and inference.
Oh, inference. Tell me what.
Can I read it?
Christian, go ahead.
No, you can't.
What you see and what you already know.
Equals new meaning. What we have, we're using what we see, what's in front of us, and your background knowledge, so what you've experienced, what you already know, to make an educated guess and assumption. Now, who can tell me what the difference is between predicting and inferring? Sanaya.
Predicting isn't that like you're guessing something is going to happen, and inferring is, yeah, what you already know.
Yeah. Close. Logan.
What was the other word? Inference and what?
Predicting.
Predicting is when it's something to do with science.
Yeah. On the right track.
That's
Christian,
hypothesis.
what do we have?
Predicting is like just, you're guessing what's going to happen.
Inferring is?
It's what you already know is going to happen.
Another word to say that. Inference, think of the present. What's happening in that moment. Alright? Predicting is what happens in the future. Okay? An inference that we mentioned last time was we see a boy in the street crying. What do we assume, what do we infer is happening at that moment? Raising your hand. Sanaya.
Got kicked out of the house.
Okay, that's a little out there. A little more basic. Christian. He's sad. Why?
He's crying.
And what do you know about crying?
Well, sometimes he could be crying with joy.
Could be. But generally, when you think of tears, what do you think of?
Puppy's dying.
Sadness.
Yeah.
Sadness. So because of my background knowledge with tears and seeing a young boy crying, I'm going to assume that he's sad in that situation.
If he's crying with a smile, it's from joy.
Yep. Because you know smiles stand for what, John? Happiness.
And
You made an inference.
anger.
So another example, I used movies. I like movies. Who doesn't? When I walk into a Will Ferrell movie, who doesn't know who Will Ferrell is?
Oh, you're lame.
You don't know who Will Ferrell is?
I know it.
Will Ferrell, if you don't know, he's a comedian. What type of movie am I walking into? Other than Sanaya.
Comedy.
Alicia, you raise your hand. Thank you. A comedy. When I watch a preview of the Transformers and I see things exploding, car chases, robots fighting each other, what type of movie am I seeing? Javon.
Action.
Action movie.
Adventures.
Why?
Because it's a lot of explosions.
A lot of explosions in action movies tend to have what?
A lot of explosions.
Explosions and action.
In action. Yeah, in cars and signs.
So now we're going to do a little activity about inference.
Okay, so we're going to have the sheet of paper out, three columns, so 2 lines down paper. At the top, each column, observe will be the first column, wonder, and infer. So you're going to be looking at these pictures, and the first thing you're going to do is observe. What literally do you see in the picture? Just describe it for me. A lot of you might jump quickly to make an inference. You're going to try to tell me what's happening, but that will be in the third column. The second column is just what do you not know but wanting to know? What's the question you might have about the picture? What information would you want to know to figure out your inference?
Your inference, you're putting it together.
Everybody have that?
Now, we're going to go through the first one together, step by step. When I ask for examples in the future, do not blurt out the answer, understood? And nod your head so I know you heard it.
If you're going to raise your hand.
By a show of hands, you give me your inference. Okay? So here's our first picture. What do you see?
What do you see?
In that O column, write down what you see. These will be turned in at the end.
He's right. At least three things what you see in the picture. Who's this? What is this? Under the wonder, what kind of information would you like to know about this picture in order to get more information? And then finally in the third column, what's happening in this picture?
Fill out all three.
Aren't the first column and the third column the same?
They're similar,
Close.
but the observation is just literally listing what is in the picture.
That's what do you want?
For example,
Where is it? Why is he staring?
I see
You don't
an
know.
ancient device
A
in
flip
this
phone.
one. I have one of those.
You guys have no idea.
The second one was questions like, what would you want to have?
I do not.
There's no possible way.
Wait,
Where are they?
That's crazy.
Why is he wearing this?
Focus.
What's the O stand for again?
What do you see?
What do you see in the picture?
It's terrible. Are they friends?
That's a question you can write down. Does it look like they're flirting? No. You're using your inference based on the facial expressions.
Yes, Miss Ellingson.
Then I got W, what do you want to know, and then what's the I?
Infer. What is happening? What do you know? And what are you adding from the picture to come to a conclusion?
You're filling out all three columns.
So, raise your hand to tell me one thing that you see. Logan. Nope, under the O column. Okay, is appropriate. Okay, someone else then for third. Javon, what do you see?
She is on the phone in theaters, and she's in trouble.
That's a little bit more in the inferred section, because you're saying that she is in trouble.
That's what I see.
You can see things that you observe. Moving on, we're just doing one for each, So,
One for each, hands down.
It looks like it's a theater.
wonder, Logan. It's a theater.
No, just one of them.
This is only a plane.
That is a plane because the lights are.
Kristen.
You can wonder that.
Is she single? That's my wonder.
Okay. And then, inference, Christian?
There's a lady on the place.
Right.
So that wrote down.
That's what you wrote down?
I got a question. I have a question.
This picture, what else is happening in this picture? You think she should be on the phone?
Maybe.
No, why?
Because they're on a plane, it can make the plane crash.
It's a theater.
Theater.
I hope the plane don't have metal.
Why do you think it's a theater?
Because the chairs are all up high. Like,
So
it goes up a
It's
level.
too big.
Goes up a level.
Alright.
I think it's a college.
You're being a professor in college, that's probably what she's on the phone. That's very true. Okay, good. Okay, let's try it. Sounds good. No, we're not. We're moving on to the next one. You can
next one.
do an inference for that.
Oh, we're doing another one?
Guys,
We don't have enough time.
at this point, I'm going to show you a picture. You're going to fill out all three columns at once. Not at once, but together.
We're just not gonna walk through it.
Let's make an inference on this one. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you're wondering about.
Write them down.
I don't. No, my paper.
So, what do you see? What's a question? And what's an inference? hand, what do you see? Felicia.
Caution, or
A wet floor sign. Javon.
I see a guy falling.
Looks like he's fallen, right?
He fell.
Fell. What do you wonder about? Ryan.
Why his papers?
Why did his papers fall all over the place? Oh, sweet. You've already gone. Inferring. Someone who hasn't
Oh,
gone yet.
inferring? I think
Yeah.
you're doing W.
Alright, Ashley.
he fell and his papers dumped out everywhere.
Alright, that's a realistic one, but yeah.
I have a W.
Javon.
Why didn't he look where he was going?
What? Yeah. Why did he look where he was going? Logan.
Maybe he is new to the country and can't read the signs, so he fell.
And maybe he did not infer
Yeah.
that it's slippery.
It says
He can't
slippery.
because he was
Alright, at this point, we're gonna head to lunch. We'll see you after.